Hi, and welcome to Sunday at 8 p.m. live with Judy K. And happy to be here tonight. And it's going smoother with the new. I don't know what I don't this package or not package. What is it? This new system that Andrew is working with, and I'm getting better. Still keep Andrew in your prayers because so far I've only made two or three mistakes before we went on tonight. So I'm glad you could join in. If you are here, if you could type a little something in the comments, so I know we're running like normal, and we'll get on what we're talking about tonight. Remember, later on, we'll be doing a tarot card pull, and I'll be doing a healing session. And I still don't have any comments, so I think everything's running right. I just don't. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Jody Lynn. Somebody's got to break the ice in here because sometimes, especially, hi, Deb, especially with the new things that we're going through, sometimes I feel like I'm here alone. Have I always had my deceased people? But anyway, Andrew's here. He's doing the technical stuff, and John's down the hallway doing the John K stuff. And little princess, little Gracie, she's as she knows, I started the live, so she's now trying to get in the room, which she's not. But she's been a dear. She really has, and I can't thank Jan Sanchez and her daughter Aurora enough for babysitting her when we needed them. So let's get on for tonight. Now, of course, hi from Khufu and Kafra behind me. And remember, that's the Great Pyramids of Giza. And they have two of them. There's another brother that has one, but people kind of ignore him. All right, because sometimes I guess with the pyramids, three was a crowd, but I doubt it. Anyway, so if you'd like to get on the tarot pool, you do just like Deb just did. You ask for a tarot card pool to be put in there, because just having your name on this doesn't get you automatically in that. Some people do watch the lives and they're not really looking for a tarot pool night, or they know that they can't have it for another 2 weeks because it's 3 weeks after if you want it. Okay, remember, you do have to be here to be a part. Okay. Oh, remember too, you can only ask one time. If you ask more than once tonight for the tarot pool, you get disqualified. And that's just for tonight, but don't let that happen to you. Remember, nobody's picking the names. I'm not picking the names. John's not picking the names. Andrew's not picking the names. Spirit's picking it, but they're using Andrew's arm. Okay? All right. Expos. Don't forget, I will be at the Woodbridge Psychic Fair in Woodbridge, New Jersey. That's September 20th from 11 to 5. Yes, that is only one day. There's not that many spots. I'll start taking pre-books when we get a lot closer to September. That's September the 20th. The Festival of Light Psychic Fair in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. I will be there November 8th and 9th, and that's 10 to 5 both days. All right. Now, if you'd like to schedule a private reading or a private healing session, readings can be psychic medium work. They can be tarot cards, however you want your reading. You can book them through my website, judyk.net. I'm sure that's up here on the live, JUDYKAY.net. You can private message me here on Facebook, or you can call me at the 856-725-3588 number. Okay. Now, I do psychic parties. In fact, we've been booking them pretty regular now. So I don't do outside parties. Remember, no bugs, no bugs. So the one thing you can do, you can always contact me for a price for that. All right. So let's get on to this week's prayer list, and it's getting kind of long. All right, but here we go. We have Carmen Tumayan. I mean, Carmen's around. She's doing okay. In fact, I believe she's probably on her way back now from the Gettysburg Bash, which is a paranormal thing out in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. But she really does. She has a lot of doctor's appointments and a lot of healings and everything. So please put her in the prayer list. Carol Mendocino Booth for health issues. Jeff, who I did see yesterday, he's doing much better, but he could still use your prayers. All right. Kay Rapp is also going through different treatments and things. Keep her in your prayers. And now it's not just Tim Merrick, it's Tim and Anita Merrick. Anita's having dental issues and her husband is having medical issues. So just keep them there. And Dee Gusha, same thing. And Sandra Coster, with different medical issues. Also Diane Lepresti. Now, we were talking last week, or it was the week before, about people losing. It was last week. People losing their children and how horrible it is. And there's a number of people on here, and I'm not going to, when I do a subject like that, I'm not going to name each person. But, it's horrible to lose a loved one. It's horrible to lose a spouse. It's horrible to lose any kind of sibling or whatever. But it's very, very hard to lose a child. And we have many people on here that have done that. So please always keep them in your prayers. Now, for this week's subject, and I'm glad, Deb, you're on here tonight because you actually, when I was going through the comments, actually, usually I was doing the previous week's live, so in case somebody asked me something that's pertinent that I should answer now. But what it is, Deb, and this was a couple of weeks ago when I was doing our funeral homes haunted. All right. And funeral homes, I said, aren't as haunted as you think they are. I mean, the deceased people can drop in and see what's going on with what's going on with their body, the old body they don't need. But it's not a crazy haunted spot. But Deb said something that's so true. And I read it. I don't know how I missed it. So it was a good thing. Sometimes things happen for a reason. And I read what she said, that she's in the medical field, and she said that she has seen deceased souls in medical buildings. Okay, so we're not just going to say hospitals, we're not going to say nursing homes, we're not going to say this, we're not going to say that. It's everywhere. And true. And I'm not saying this to scare you. Don't think it's scary. Remember, I always say you can't go anywhere without deceased people being there. All right. They do. Oh, Diane, you've been on it for a couple of weeks, sweetheart. I was happy to do it, but I like it when somebody asks me instead of just, put it on there. Because some people feel funny about that, but not, I mean, my gosh, girl, you're doing good. All right. So what happens is in the medical buildings, yes, Deb, I'm totally in agreement with you. I've seen them. I've seen little things and I've seen some big things. No reason for you to ever be scared. And I'm not saying this for you to be scared. Because I mean, you could look at this way. You could go, all right. Here's one. If anybody back in the day used to go to Atlantic City Race Course where the horses were, and they closed it, but they'd open it for a couple days each year so they could keep their license for doing the simulcasting. Well, John used to take me there because we love horse racing, and but the place was messy. It wasn't up to par, but it was close to home. We could go there, and yes, there were gentlemen there that were so into betting on the ponies back in the day that they're never a threat, but you have to actually look for them. In bars, there will be people that really like the bar, sitting in the bar because they didn't go home then, they're not going home now. And then it just in different things. But yes, but in medical buildings, it's not like the funeral homes. Now, you're probably asking, why are they at the medical buildings? Are they still going through what they were going through at the end? Now, when people come in and they want to get a deceased relative, I always say to them, usually they're not going to come to me as they were in the last couple of minutes or couple of days or couple of weeks, of their passing. Because and I say it, and Nate, I just say it as bluntly as not bluntly, but plain, so you understand it. You don't want people to see you like that. I always say when I'm going, I'm gonna come back in my 40s. I looked great in my 40s. But anyway, I really did. But anyway, I'm gonna come back looking like I did in my 40s, and I'm gonna enjoy that. Now, will there be times I'll show myself older? And yes. So anyway, when you get a deceased person, they don't show themselves to you at their last moments. They do only if they have something they want to complain about. If they want to complain, the biggest percentage is they complain about things down their tracheas. They don't like that. Oh, they say, never tell me that thing. And they're not complaining like, oh, get it out of there because it's already gone. But they'll say, oh, I couldn't stand any more of that. All right. But they usually, when they're back in medical buildings, sometimes they got attached to some of the staff. they had a wonderful nurse or nurses aide or anybody, doctor. Doctors are a little busy, but mostly the nurses are in there. They get attached to that. They get attached to their caretakers, and so they'll hang with them. Just like if you had a girlfriend that was always busy or something, you go hang with her. So a lot of times they're in medical buildings. Um, One of the reasons, not always, is to hang with the medical staff, but the medical staff that took care of them. All right, Deb, does that help you at all with I know you're on here, you can comment, I can say, but remember I'm running a little off. So sometimes it does. Now I've also seen deceased people having a good time at a hospital. You know, John with his kidney, different, he had a number of operations, but it finally went with a kidney transplant. But he was always getting operated on. And one time we were at a hospital, oh my gosh, this has got to be 9 years ago or so. And I'm sitting there and like I didn't turn on my gift and I said, oh, what's here? I don't do that, and then, it's the hospital, it's what I'm there for. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. Well, they were actually playing with a gurney. I had deceased people playing around with a gurney, and the gurney was not there. The gurney wasn't there, but there had to be about six of them, five or six of them, and they're messing with the gurney, and then they went behind these doors. And I said to John, I said, honey, if you can help it, don't go that way. Now, it wasn't like they were going to do anything to them. They weren't. They probably would everything, but they were just having a little bit too much fun. And I wonder, it makes sense. Yeah, it does. They actually can have a good time in the hospital. I mean, they were there maybe for a long time. They might not have been, there, but they were having fun. That's the craziest I ever saw. I mean, that was, and the truth of the matter is, that was not a busy hospital. That was a hospital that was going, how like sometimes they retract the hospital a little bit. So not everything is open in the hospital, but they'll use a couple sections, or those section for that section. It wasn't like a regular hospital. Okay. It wasn't a declining hospital. I'm not going to say declining. I think what it was used for certain procedures, and that's basically it. But they were crazy. And I would have gone down the hallway if I had to, but I'd be, oh my Lord, what are you guys up to now? Right? So I hope that doesn't make you afraid of hospitals. Don't. Because truth of the matter is, as I always say, when people come in with a reading, people say, oh, I have some deceased people in my house. Actually, that's good. I mean, like if we have deceased people, of course, in my house, but if there's a fire, they'll wake us up and let us know. Some locations were old mansions that repurposed spirits were pre-med unit. Yes, so you see, you have the old homeowners, and they're going to care about those people. Never forget that deceased people have feelings. They're not. People will say, "Oh, they're different." Actually, they're exactly the same as before they pass. They're the same person. When they get to the other side, usually a person that's only thinks of themselves is basically only think of themselves. But how many people do you know that are very loving souls? And if the house, and they might have had one time in their life were lonely, well, then they're going to be there for people. And what they also can do, and here's something else, if somebody's in a hospital or nursing home or some facility, and say the button's not working, okay? They can go get somebody from the desk to come check on them. Realize deceased people a lot of times can be one of your greatest assets. They'll do things for you. But just like everybody in the world, some people, even in your own circles, even in your own families, you'll have people that you can't count on. Don't even bother talking to them because they're not going to listen. But then you have somebody that, what do you need? I'm here. And people on the other side sometimes get bored. They can have a good time on the other side, but sometimes they want to be a part of life. So let them come in and help you. So I hope I didn't scare anybody. But Deb, she's in the medical building, so she sees it. And Deb, you were never afraid of them, were you? Okay. Okay, so Diane said she went and would go to a house and feel like the marriage was on the rocks, and if someone had cheated, oh, yeah. Now you see, anger can do that. You'll get that. Like sometimes people will contact me, will come for a reading. They'll say, well, their house isn't selling. I don't know why. There's nothing wrong with the house. And Spirit will tell me, the people, they just walk in and the energy's not right, and you got to change the energy. So, Diane, the energy needed to be changed in that house. Sometimes they'll keep bouncing back, but sometimes you just have to have a talk with them too. Okay. So I hope I cleared that up for you. No, never afraid. No, they're very sweet people. You have to real that let's here, I can describe it this way. If you have a person that has, gone through whatever they've gone through, and they, of course, they don't make it because they're on the other side, they know and they understand what the people in the hospital are going through or in the medical facility. They know. Like, here, let's use John, for example. He had all that with his kidney problems. Now, say he passes. All right. Well, he will. I mean, nobody gets out of here alive. But say 30 years ago, or 30 years from now, not ago, 30 years from now, 40 years ago, or 50 years ago, John passes. Well, he might take a drive by around the kidney transplant place and help those people. So realize they're some of our best helpers. All right. Okay, well, let's go on. About the Zoom. I'm starting the new thing with the Zoom, and it looks like it's definitely going to be this week. Okay. If you are on, I said you'll get a notification on it. But what I'm going to be doing is doing some tarot readings. It's not personal like we do here. It's tarot readings that you can get some information on. Not, but as I said, not personal readings. I couldn't do that. I'd never get off YouTube all day. All right. So let's see. Well, let me get my paper because I got to write down the names. Mhm. All right. Let's see. Oh, Diane Greenblatt, you won, honey. Jody Lynn and Deb Pranzano. Okay. All righty. That's a spirit picture. All right. So let me know what you want. If you want general, if you want finances, if you want romance, type that into the comments and I'll get right on that. And we'll do the healing afterwards. All right. Let me see. I don't see. Deb wants general. Okay. Diane Greenblatt. What would you like, sweetheart? And I need Jody Lynn for you to tell me that too. I have the worst handwriting sometimes. Okay. Let me see if Diane wants romance. Okay. And Jody Lynn, let me know what you want. Oh, general. Thank you all for getting back to me in a nice, timely fashion. That helps. And I'm getting the cards ready now. With the new YouTube, waiting to see the cards, the decks of cards I'm going to be using. It's going to be switching. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, let me see. Get these ready. Oh, Diane, they want to do you first. Okay, hold on. Here we go. All right. Thought they were telling me to take a fourth card, and as you could see, all my hand gestures and all there, and they weren't telling me where it was. So I figured if they want me to do a fourth one, I'll do it. But I'm going to tell you these first. Diane, everything's looking wonderful. It really was. It really was. Everything was promising and everything. But what it's saying here is people need to spend more time on a situation and understand each other better. I feel like there's a bit of a misunderstanding that can make things awry. Hold on for a minute. Now they told me to pick the next card. Okay. And what Spirit's telling me is Bring things back together. You've got the Nine of Wands as that final card that they were testing me, but they told me to wait before I picked. And the Nine of Wands is a building back. So build it up. It's everything. Romance is good, but one has to put into it to receive a little bit here. I said a little something wrong there, but you do. So go into that, but everything's fine. What I really like about this, Diane, to tell you the truth, is the first card you got was the Temperance card, which is Major Arcana. Means everything's fine. The second one is the Page of Pentacles. Now, the Page of Pentacles is not a bad card, but what I can tell you here is, people are thinking about other things and, they're not on where they're supposed to be. Then you have the Three of Chalices. So that's why. That's why they were read the way they are. Remember, it's not exactly what the tarot. It does mean what the tarot card means, but there's so many different locations and this, that, and the other thing of how they be read. Okay, let's see if Jody Lynn or Deb Pranzanto will be next. All right. Okay. All right. Deb, these are your cards. And Deb, this is general. It says everything was set up for you, but then there's coming to worriment. Worriment. Don't let the worriment bother you. They said here, just take your loving soul. And they're actually using the Queen of Cups out of this. And the Queen of Cups has that loving soul. She thinks with her heart. Don't let things twist you up. Just keep being your wonderful self and everything will be fine. I am going to, because I did it for Diane, I'm going to do it for you too. I'm going to pick a fourth card. Okay. And Spirit's telling me to also. Okay, is this one? Okay. And they said, just keep, here they said, keep your nose to the grindstone. They said, keep it sane, but stop letting all this. And I'll tell you this, because you've got the Ten of Cups, which means everything's wonderful. But then you got the Ten of Swords, which because you took my tarot class. Ten of Swords, everything's not wonderful. But what it is, it's based on wonderful. So it's based on wonderful. You're going through a time now. It says, just be yourself. And basically, just do what you got to do. Okay. But they don't mean do what you got to do and be miserable about it. They meant do what you got to do and be nice about it. All right. But you're always nice anyway. Okay. Now it's Jody Lynn's cards. All right. All right, Jody Lynn, we have. All right. Jody, what we have here is, and we're doing general for you, is things are good. You're very nice, but you've come to a point in your life where everything is out of balance. Like, well, I can't, they told me I said that wrong, which is true. Where you're at a balanced situation where they call it, they say a stalemate, but that's what the card means. It's a stalemate, but stalemate sounds bad. It sounds depressing. It's not that. It means you have an agreement. Everything's going good. I don't see anything bad for you. Things are good, but they're telling you to start checking things. And they're talking to you about start checking things with a little bit of what you own and what you have for yourself. So look at that, write it down, and just see. I don't want to say your worth. They're not talking about your worth. What they're more talking about is see how much you have bringing to the table, which is nice. All right. You'll be fine. Nothing bad, but they're just saying, just make sure and you check that. All right. And know how good you are, basically what they're saying. And when I'm talking about this, they're not talking just about monetary things. They're talking about the things that you do for people. Okay. Like, say something like you go shopping or whatever. It's the same thing. Okay. Sometimes we do things for people. Okay, just like John does for me and I do for him. And that's what it's saying. So all is good. No rocking, nothing crazy going there. Okay, so we ready for the healing? All right, let's get started. So what we're going to do here is remember, if you want to receive the healing, palms up. If you don't, palms down. And just relax and get a little loosey-goosey here. And this healing's going to go to everyone. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Stop the worriment. Stop the worriment. That's what I'm hearing. Stop the worriment. Spirit just said, I don't know who they're talking to, and I actually think they're talking to a couple people here. The way it's coming through, they said, nothing you can do about it anywhere. Stop worrying. Time, oh, they're telling that time will heal everything. Time will heal everything. This isn't just like romance breakup or anything like that. They mean time will heal everything, which means this too shall pass. Okay, very good. They're showing me somebody with the knees, and they're trying to start working the knees. I see the person starting to really start to work their knees, and they're telling you that take it easy, but still continue. Take it easy, still continue with those knees. I not really feel like that the knees are the main thing. They might be part of it, but it's just not the knees. It's coming from somewhere like maybe the hips, or it's a combination. But then if you work the knees will do it. All right. Spirit guide saying when it comes to something, if you really want it, don't hold off. Now might be the time to get it. Okay. Well, Spirit's been very chatty tonight, which is nice. Okay. And let's release from that. And thank you so much for joining us. We will be here next Sunday at 8 p.m. for the next live, and we'll see you then. All right. Take care. Remember, if you want a reading or a healing in my Cherry Hill office, or FaceTime, Zoom, or over the phone, 856-725-3588, or Judy K, JUDYKAY.net. All right. Talk to you then. Bye for now.